I know reading extended lectures online can be brutal, but I really want to encourage you to spend the time with this one because there's really no way that effectively verbally walks you through how to construct these paragraphs. You're going to need to walk through these written instructions step by step. So I just want to highlight a few of the elements that are worth looking at. First of all, the lecture starts with basically the three big criteria, the three things we're trying to do with this kind of paragraph. And it is a new kind of paragraph. It's not something you're supposed to already be able to do. And then it has a beautiful link to a document that you'll use again and again, a sample paragraph with a rubric. You want to click on that and print this out. If you don't print it out, you can save it as a PDF on your desktop. You'll use it all the time as you write and rewrite this paper. Once you've got that sample handy, the lecture then walks you step by step through the criteria and pieces. So it starts off with how do you compose a claim? It gives you an example of what a strong claim is, gives you an example of a problematic claim. So you can see some of the standard approaches that work and don't work. And then finally, it gives you a link to a set of verbs that can really help you make sure your claim states Morrison's position. She is not neutral. You don't want to use verbs like describes and explains, which are neutral verbs. You want verbs of opinion, celebrates, condemns, protests, honors, rejects, criticizes, critiques. You want opinion verbs, and that guide can help you with that. There's some reminders about how we use literary devices as evidence and support when we're making symbolic interpretations, and what the relationship between is the ideas of metaphor, imagery, metonym, irony, allusion, and the kind of symbolic reading we're doing. There's guidance on how to integrate quotes. We want to use small, short quotes integrated into sentences that interpret them. There's some examples of that here, some principles of how to do that. And then finally, there's a walkthrough of the actual criteria that I'll be using to grade the paragraph. What should the claim and clincher do? How are you going to be evaluated for your interpretation of symbolic meanings? What are the expectations for source integration? And then finally, the page finishes with another sample paragraph. So there's two sample paragraphs, one on a Google Doc you can open and one extended lengthy paragraph right here in the lecture. And this just shows you how deeply you can dig in. So there's lots of material here that tells you what this kind of paragraph should look like and how to get there. But it doesn't mean anything if you don't spend the time with it. That's why you'll see that I dedicated a large time, 2 to 3 hours, I said that you should spend reading this material and drafting your paper. So really want to dig in, give yourself time, spend an hour one day, an hour another day, an hour another as you read these lectures, think about them, and then draft your paragraph.